Now, when it comes to build making in the Division 2, you have to factor in your attributes, whether it be how high you want attributes to go or factoring in caps that certain attributes have. Now, these caps might be known to most of the community. However, there are hidden caps on certain attributes that a majority of the community just does not know about. For example, did you know you could get 170% pulse resistance or 140% hazard protection? Not at all, huh? Well, what if I told you that there were hidden caps on things like explosive resistance? We're just going to jump into all of this, all right? And I hope some of you learned some things. This is going to be a very informative and information based episode. We're not going to do like a full build breakdown or anything like that. I'm just going to show you certain attributes. We're going to talk about the caps that they have and some of them that have hidden caps that some people just might not know about. So let's get into it. Here we go. What's going on, YouTube? Kamikazevondoom here with another Division 2 video, so sit back, relax, grab that popcorn, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know what you think in the comment section below. But in today's video, we're going to talk about 5 different attributes in the game. Some of them have hard caps, some of them have hidden caps, and some of them have no caps. Now, what do I mean by cap? That means it is the highest you can get that attribute before they cut it off. Now, we'll talk about some easy ones in the beginning, and then I'll talk about the attributes that some people might not know even have caps at the end. So here we go. We're going to start off with an easy one, okay? So the easiest one would be crit. Crit chance has a cap, and a majority of the people that play the game will see that under their stat sheet. It is, in fact, the only one that has it on the stat sheet that says cap. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, if you toggle over to your stat sheet and we go to crit chance for this build, you can see I'm sitting at 60% crit chance. And if we go all the way up to the top right of your screen, you can see breakdown, crit chance with the current weapon, cap 60%. So that means I cannot go above that in any way, shape, or form. It's just going to cap it right there at 60. So this is your first example of how it should look, right? So everyone should know that whenever they go under their stat sheet and look under crit chance, you can see clearly that the cap is 60%. Now, if I were to go over that cap, let's see here. I have a crit damage mod right here. So let me change that to crit chance. There we go. So now I have over 60, but it still shows 60%. And that's because that is a hard cap under our stat sheet. Now, if I were to just take off, all of these are crit damage mods. All right, not bad. And then go back, and it still shows 60. Okay, so that is the hard cap example. So another known cap that a lot of people should know about is protection from elites. Now, protection from elites you can only get from a mod or from one specialization, being the survivalist specialization. Because under the survivalist specialization, you can get 10% protection from elites as a passive talent. But the only other way in the game to get that attribute is from the mods. And that's why everyone and their mom is always saying, I can't wait to get a 13% protection from elites mod, because that's where it caps out at for the mod. Now you can see all of mine are going to be 12% mods, and that's fine. I'm still just going to show you the invisible cap for protection from elites. Now, if we toggle over to the stat sheet for protection from elites, we go down to the defensive tab, and we can see right here we are at 80% protection from elites. Now, 80% is the hidden cap for this attribute because it does not show any cap or any, there's no notification at all that shows us that there is a cap. However, the way to figure this out, let's see, I'll just take off the knee pads, okay? So I'll put on some random knee pads, go back over to my stats, and now you can see I'm sitting at 72% protection from elites. Well, I just took off a 12% mod. So that means that technically on my build, I had 84%. But it caps me out at 80. And that's because it is a hidden cap for that attribute. Because look, if I go right back, equip that mod, and then it only shows it up to 80%. Okay, so crit chance, you could clearly see it showed there's a cap. Protection from elites, there is a hidden cap. These are the two most popular ones that people know about. So now let's get into some that people might not know about. Next one is going to be pulse resistance. Now, pulse resistance is typically just a attribute that you want to spec into for, say, PvP. Because if another player is using flatline, perfect flatline, spotter, perfect spotter, or the scanner pulse, they will be able to see you. However, with pulse resistance, they're not going to be able to see you because they won't be able to pulse you. Now, a lot of people might think that the cap is just at 100% because if you're 100% resistant, then they can't pulse you. Well, for some reason, there is no cap on pulse resistance in the Division 2. And to put just a weird makeshift build together, I put this one together with the Ninja Bike. So 2 pieces of Y'all gear with the Ninja Bike gives me 3 piece. And that gives me the bonus for pulse resistance of 40%. I have 2 pieces of system corruption with the Ninja Bike, which gives me 3 pieces, which also gives me a bonus of 40% pulse resistance. So that, right off the bat, is 80% pulse resistance. Well, I have pulse resistance mods on my backpack, on my mask, on my chest piece, and I even put on a improvised holster with pulse resistance as well. Just to show you that with this build setup, you can actually get all the way to 170% pulse resistance. Now, what does this benefit for you? Absolutely nothing. I probably would not go over 100%. Maybe if I'm in conflict, I want to have 110% or something like that, but that doesn't make any... Well, actually, in conflict, you would lose your shade. No, because you'd still have your specialization. Yeah, so there's really no reason to go above 100% pulse resistance. But for some reason in this game, there's no cap. Following this, another one that people think is a cap is hazard protection. So to do that, I put together just some makeshift Ninja Bike build. Let me show you. Here we go. So in this Ninja Bike setup, I went full Haz Pro, everything hazard protection. And, well, the hazard cap, there isn't one. Well, technically there is one. Because you can see all of these resistances, they all cap out at 100. However, there's no indicator or notification anywhere that shows you there is a cap. But we do know that even having 140% hazard, it caps out at 100% for all of these resistances. So it's like a hidden cap, but no cap at the same time, where you can see it caps all of them out at 100, but you can clearly go well above 100%. Now, why would you do that? Let me think. Well, for example, your watch level, right? So if you go to your watch level, I believe right here, boom, hazard protection. So you get 10% hazard protection from your watch. So in something like conflict, you would want 10% extra. So that would be the one case where I would probably want 110%. I wouldn't want to go all the way up to 140, but 110 would definitely be viable. That way, when you go into conflict, you would still have 100%, even with Keener's watch taken away. And finally, the reason why I even put this build together was that I figured explosive resistance has a hidden cap. Now, I do remember some people sending me comments talking about, hey, make an explosive resistance build, do this. And I do remember someone saying something about it stopping at 90, and I really put no mind into it. I was like, oh, okay, whatever. Because in my opinion, explosive resistance is a throwaway attribute. However, with mortars and explosives damage being such a big thing right now, a lot of agents are now speccing into explosive resistance. So I put this build together. And with this build, let me just count it out for you and then I'll show you the results. So Richter and Kaiser, I'm doing the 2-piece, gives me 25% explosive resistance. All right, 25. Doing the Lingmo 1-piece, I get 20% explosive resistance. So right off the bat, that is 45%. Now everything on this build is rolled to explosive resistance. So just by adding it up, I would have 105% explosive resistance total. So to count it out, we have 10 on the mask, 20, 30, 40, 45, 55, 65, 75, 85, 95, and 105 explosive resistance. However, when I went to make this build video, I found out that it caps out at 90. So explosive resistance has a hidden cap of 90%. So if you're going to try to make a 100% explosive resistance build, it's not going to happen. I myself made a 105% explosive resistance build, and it still caps me out at 90%. So we know that crit chance is capped out at 60. We know that protection from elites is capped out at 80. Explosive resistance apparently is capped out at 90. Hazard protection and pulse resistance both do not have a cap. However, we can just assume that 100% is the cap for both of those. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about these 5 attributes because I know the first 2, a lot of people, if not everyone, knew about those. But it was weird putting these builds together and seeing the remaining 3 having hidden caps or no caps at all. Now, finally, I'll show you this build just real quick. It's going to be a quick glimpse because I am going to make a full build video around this, okay? But the entirety of this video is to get you to understand that there are hidden caps and there are certain things that you should really spec into. And, well, just look at this one, okay? And I'll let you out of here. So after checking out all of those builds, right, I put together, where is it? This bad boy. Check this sucker out, okay? 2 million armor, right? 2 million. I'm sitting at, hold on. Let me make sure that's the right for the capacitor. Yep, 111. So I'm sitting at 111k base on a capacitor with obliterate. But wait, there's more. Check this out. I am at 100% pulse, 100% hazard, and I'm at the cap for explosive resistance with 2 million armor. Now I could put unbreakable on there just to, do that even more, but I wanted the obliterate just to get a little bit more damage. But that means that I'm fully hazard protection. I cannot be pulsed, and I have the highest amount of explosive resistance you can possibly have. Now, not only that, but I'm rocking this bad boy with a defender drone and an EMP sticky. So this is a tank build that you're not going to be able to take down by yourself. You're going to have to get your friends together and try to jump me to get me down when I'm using this build. But we'll talk about this one in another video. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comment section below. If you found this video helpful or informative in any way, shape, or form, please hit that thumbs up. Support the channel by subscribing. I do daily Division content, so ring that notification bell. That way you don't miss a single Division video. But that's it for me. I hope you have a great day. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one. I'm Kamikazevondoom. Peace out.